the third guy we probably should mention before we can talk about something else. Remco Evenepoel, world time trial champion, Olympic double champion, such a good rider. But yeah, I don't even know what went wrong really. He said after the stage, it was on the Tourmalet as well, where he got off the same climb where in the Vuelta a few years ago, his GC also cracked. So that was quite, well, poetic in a way. What do you see for his future as well? Because he was being linked here, there, and everywhere to Red Bull, to Ineos, and yeah, his tour not going his way at all.
Let's start friendly. Man is an absolute legend. Double Olympic champion. Not even Eddie Merckx managed that. Double Olympic champion. And there's only two possibilities for road cyclists. So, bloody hell, that is awesome. I believe 2 times world champion time trial, 1 time world champion on a road race, 2 times, I believe, at least, or maybe 3 times Liège-Bastogne-Liège. So, you know what? You and me, we would kill for one of these wins, right? He got a whole bunch of them, right?
Tour of Denmark as well.
Well, there you go. One of the biggest, most beautiful races in the world. So, from on top of my head, I think he has done 6 Grand Tours, won 1, 3rd last year, some 12 in the Vuelta, and 3 did not finish it. That is quite a high percentage, because in other words, that would be 50% of the Grand Tours he started. He did not finish. So it's either hot or cold. I mean, he won 1 Vuelta. Fantastic. 3rd in Tour de France last year. Fantastic. Behind Jonas and Tadej Pogačar. It was first try at the GC at the Tour de France. The Vuelta. He was leading, you mentioned it, on a Tourmalet, then blow apart. But he did stick in the game, went through the difficulties and came back and winning probably 2 or 3, at least 2 more stages after that. So strong comeback, not in GC, but 2 stage wins. That's also what the team wants to see. Okay, struggling. Yes, everybody can have a bad day. You're humans. But don't put your head in the sand and go home. No, come back out of it. That makes you a champion. And win a stage or 2 stages for the team, because they also went to altitude training camps. They also did eat salad leaves and weighed their food and did all these intervals. And they also missed their families in these lonely altitude training camps, sitting in a hotel room. So for them, come back, earn their respect. You want the respect from them. You want them to be willing to turn themselves inside out for you on the bike. Well, then show leadership. Show that, okay, yes, I'm worth that you give everything to me. Okay, I struggled, but hey, I get up, put the chrome straight, and keep on going. I win a stage for you guys. That would be good. Or like one of my heroes of my youth, Sean Kelly. I refer to him as King Kelly, of course. As King Kelly used to say, as long as you do not carry your head under your arm, you go back on the bike and keep on racing.
What do you think he does next? Is he just going to go to the Vuelta?
Isn't Jonas also going to the Vuelta? I think
and Pogačar.
Yeah. And Pogačar as well. So, I mean, the logical consequence would be for Remco, just by pure logic. Go home, recover, reassess the situation, find out what went wrong, what can I do better next time, and then go. The last big objectives this year would be the World Championships, time trial and road race, and the Vuelta. So, but does he want to face them again? And the rumors, so see, for also for people out there to understand. Back in my days, I know it sounds like I'm ancient, and I am. The Tour de France was the biggest rider carousel. Everything moved in the Tour. Secret meetings, phone calls, meeting at the parking lot. Hey, are you going to sign or not? Hey, can we talk? All that has moved so much forward in these modern days. Teams and people they love to plan for a longer time ahead. So all that often happens in the classics already. So it is very, very, very likely that the new team of Remco, or the old team of Remco, and Remco know where he will be riding his bike next year. But he can only announce it in August, I believe. There's a certain day, 10th of August, or what do I know? But he cannot say it now. But I strongly believe that has been fixed, done, and signed. They just cannot tell it legally yet. If he was linked to Red Bull, when they started talking, maybe in January, they probably thought, okay, we need a new strong rider next to Primož. Primož is going to be 35 next year. So he might be a little less strong than he was this year or last year. So we need somebody younger that can move and take over as our captain for Grand Tours. Made perfect sense in January, February, March, and so on. He came back from the crash he had with the post car, won his first race coming back. So looked like, he's up for a great year. So he is a good rider, no doubt about that. But now, if he actually still talks to Red Bull, or they signed him already, or they might sign him, we go, I don't know. We have maybe Lipovic for, I'm guessing, 1 million. And for Remco, we would probably have to pay 5 or 8, who knows, or 3 million. So they go, and on the Grand Tours, he abandoned 3 times out of 6, right? So is he going to make us stronger? Because he makes the team definitely more interesting. Let's put it that way. He makes the team more interesting. Working with him is probably also be interesting. But then again, if you look at Red Bull Bora Hansgrohe, at the Classics campaign, it didn't work out so well. Lipovic was a 3rd place in Paris-Nice, and I believe it was Primož winning Catalonia, I believe. They saved the early season for the team, not the one-day Classics. So if they get Remco can win Amstel, Flash Ballon, or Liège-Bastogne-Liège. And he also, in terms of physical capacity, he can also win Giro Lombardia, the last big race of the year. So that you would make a team stronger. For the Grand Tours, they need to work on stress, anger, and bad moments management.
Well, you mentioned Lipovic. What have you made of this new crop of riders that have come to the forefront? Oscar Onley as well. Ben Healy had a stage win and the yellow jersey. But Florian Lipovic, we saw him in the Dauphiné. You said you had very high hopes for him in the preview, and I mean, he has lived up to everyone's expectations.
If I can maybe for 5 seconds, blow my own trumpet here. My podium before the tour, and I think I told you.
Yeah, you did.
In this order: Tadej, Jonas, and Lipovic. So in the moment, it really looks like I'm a true expert. I'm gonna start smoking a cigar in a minute from now. But it's serious. Back to serious business now. He is so much more solid and calm than I could ever hope for. For example, that day, to give you an example, stage 11, the day when Pogačar crashed shortly before the finish line, around Toulouse, there was this last climb, Côte de Pêche David, I believe, short, steep, more narrow roads. They come in a 90-degree turn, so no speed. 50 riders wanted to be top 10 at that moment. And then you look from the top, it's Pogačar and his team. And right next to Pogačar and Jonas is the former biathlon, skiing and shooting, the former biathlon athlete